Britain's rivers are home to otters, herons, and the occasional shopping trolley. But what if they were home to hippos? That sounds ridiculous, right? Well, 130,000 years ago, hippos roamed Britain's rivers. In fact, fossils found in Leeds show that hippos once happily lived here during warmer periods in the Earth's history. But let's say they never left. Or if we reintroduce them today, how would that change Yorkshire's landscape? Would we see less flooding, more wildlife, or total chaos? This is one of nature's big what-ifs. Yorkshire has a massive flooding problem. With increasingly heavy rainfall, rivers like the Aire, Calder and Ouse struggle to contain the water, leading to flooding in cities like Leeds and York. If we had hippos, they would widen and deepen rivers, turning them into larger channels. This would help Yorkshire's rivers drain faster, reducing the risk of flooding. But there's a catch. Hippos also erode riverbanks, causing increased siltation. Over time, this blocks smaller streams and leads to unexpected floods elsewhere. Are they a flood saviour or a natural bulldozer? Maybe both. Hippos may live in water, but they're actually the world's largest lawnmower, going through around 40 kilograms of vegetation every single day. If they lived here in Yorkshire, riverbanks would become well-mowed grasslands, benefiting native species such as hares and ground-nesting birds. But there's a big downside. Hippos are aggressive feeders, and native grazers such as deer would struggle to compete with them. Yorkshire's farmlands could also come in trouble, as hippos would not hesitate to raid fields, causing problems for local farmers. So while they could help balance our landscape, they might also force native wildlife out and make jobs for farmers a lot harder. Hippos wouldn't just shape our rivers, they'd feed them. Their poo is packed with nutrients, fertilising rivers and boosting fish populations. This could be great for Yorkshire's fisheries. Hippo dung might create an explosion of aquatic life, but there's a dark side. Too much dung can cause eutrophication, which means oxygen starvation and algae-filled rivers. Instead of crystal clear streams, we'd have murky, smelly rivers, potentially choking out our fish and leading to mass die-offs. So would hippos improve Yorkshire's environments or turn our rivers into green sludge? But let's be honest, the biggest issue isn't the farmers or the environment, it's us. Hippos are territorial and aggressive, responsible for more deaths in Africa per year than lions or crocodiles. Imagine walking your dog along the River Aire only for a 1,500 kilogram hippo to chase you off its land. Paddleboarding? It's not happening. Fishing? Good luck. Yorkshire's waterways would go from peaceful nature spots to no-go zones. Urban planners would have to rethink everything. Would we build fences around rivers, introduce hippo warning signs, or just allow nature to take its course? Now let's talk money, because hippos in Yorkshire would be a gold mine. Forget the Loch Ness Monster. Imagine hippo watching tours along the Ouse, safari parks on the Calder, and entire hippo-themed festivals across Yorkshire. Zoos already bring in thousands of visitors for these animals, so seeing them in the wild, that's huge business. But what costs? Increased tourism could mean more hippo-human conflict. We would need rangers to manage them, hippo-proof barriers. One thing for sure, if hippos moved in, Yorkshire's economy would never be the same. Here's the real question. We've been talking in hypotheticals, but could hippos even survive in Yorkshire's climate? Well, they thrive in warm temperatures, and while they can handle cooler nights, Yorkshire's winters could be a challenge. They might need sheltered river zones, thicker skin adaptations over time, or even seasonal migrations to mainland Europe. In time, could we see woolly hippos evolving, or would they just become giant grumpy ice blocks that would eventually die out? The truth is, no one knows. But if hippos did rule Yorkshire and Britain, we'd get less flooding, more grazing, and a whole lot more danger. Our rivers might become tourist attractions and wildlife hotspots, but they could also become disaster zones. What do you think? Would hippos be a welcome addition to the UK, or are we better off seeing them in zoos and keeping them in Africa? And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and follow on all social media platforms.